Morning, folks. Going for my little walk this morning. I've been out doing some other things and I'm a little later walking than normal. I guess it's probably about 8 o'clock. So excuse the sun there behind me. I've been and got me a little breakfast sandwich, and I went down and took the form boards off the slab for the pump house that me and my son poured yesterday. But the main thing still going on is my mother is still in hospice, and kind of expect her to pass tonight or tomorrow. I don't think it's going to be very long. It's a sad thing, but Mom is 91, and she's beat breast cancer a long time. She's beat it like 6 years longer than they predicted she would. And I don't know that it's cancer that's taken her. She's just declining. It's just a natural state of decline. I really don't know what it is. But I'm out here walking, trying to get my little bit of peace and tranquility before I go up to the hospice. It's a good place in Little Rock on, you won't hear me say that much, by the way. I don't say much good about Little Rock, but this hospice is a really good place on Bowman Road. It's hospice home care. And, when our family gets in that kind of shape, you just don't have a lot of choice. But I'll tell you, for most of us, it's going to be self-pay for the room and board in hospice nowadays. And it's over $200 a night. It's not cheap, but I'm telling you, it's worth it. Because they can keep them comfortable 24 hours a day. Or if you have them at home on hospice, you don't have a nurse just sitting right there all the time. They only come about an hour a day if you're lucky. Now, right near the end, they might come, and the last 24 hours you might have a nurse, but I feel like it's not good enough when a person's having, anxiety and agitation and pain. And luckily, my mother hadn't had this stuff, this agitation and pain, until about the last 48 hours. And that makes me thankful that I have her where I do. But I'm going to switch you around here, look at where we're going. Well, I said I was. I'm doing this on open camera. And, it has a pause button there. But I don't believe it's going to let me switch y'all around without having to edit the video. So I guess y'all just keep having to look at me. But, you can see I'm walking the road. I'm road in the woods. I'm same place I always am. But I wanted to tell y'all, when your family member gets close, you'll know it, because you know them better than anybody else. And the last few months of life, I think something that they'll all do if they're going to die a slow, natural death, I think they will all quit eating as much and start sleeping a lot more. And they'll eventually tell you, if I eat this, can I go back to bed? And that's what Mom has done. And it's going to be tough now. It's just going to be me and my son, Junior. My son Dylan committed suicide in 2019, and I found him right up here on this hill behind me where he shot himself. And, after the PTSD for me finding him the way I did, I don't think I want to be at hospice when my mother takes her last breath. That has changed something in me. When she's conscious and needs me, I want to try to be there. But I don't want to watch her take her last breath on this earth. I don't think I don't think that would do me any good emotionally. And you know, I think about it every day. It's just going to be me and my oldest son, Junior, now, here on this 30 acres. And I've really got to get my act together. I'm almost 53 years old. I've got to get things cleaned up around here and get projects finished and get things in a trust of my own. To him, I may use a couple of different trusts. I may do a revocable trust and an unrevocable trust on certain things just to make things work out better. Because if either one of us has to go on Medicaid someday, we want to be sure that 5 years before then, because they have a 5-year look-back period, we want to be sure that everything is squared away and protected where we don't have to sell property. Because somehow, I want this property, like my parents did, I want this property to stay in the family forever. We're not a family that believes in selling, you know, the family homestead and splitting it up or anything like that. And my son is 28, and I hope he has children and has somebody to leave it to. If he don't, he's going to have to make a decision someday on a special person that he leaves things with. And I have a daughter, and I have 3 grandchildren, but my daughter doesn't come around. We don't agree on a lot of things, and she sort of distanced herself from me and from my ex-wife, her mother, and that hurts me. I really don't figure she'll be coming around anymore. She really didn't like my mother. My daughter didn't. And that's a sad deal in itself. I'd like to see my grandkids more. I'd like for them to know who I am. And I'd like to know who they are better. But it's all going to depend on what my daughter does in the future. But anyway, I just wanted to update y'all and tell you we're still in a holding pattern here, and my mother's still in hospice, and I expect her to pass very soon. And after the funeral and after we get all that taken care of, I've got to get busy working on this place, because I've got a lot to do before freezing wintertime gets here. Got to accomplish a lot in a short period of time, but I won't be worried about Mom anymore. You know, I've worried about her for a couple of years here, especially worried about her the last 8 months. And you know, we live about 200 feet apart, maybe, here on the same property. And me and my son are back and forth about every 3 hours, or we were till she went in the hospital. But I'm not saying it's a good thing my mother's passing, but I am saying hopefully it'll give me more time to do what needs doing in this life. Now I'll tell you, I'm not real practiced at walking and looking where I should on this camera right here. Now this is actually on a phone. I use a phone for most of my stuff unless it's on a piece of heavy equipment, and I finally did get a GoPro just for the image stabilization. But I'm going to walk back over here and do a couple of things at the house, and then I'm going to get up to the hospice and sit with my mother. And my uncle, her little brother, will be up there soon. I kind of expect today to be maybe the last day we see any consciousness at all. They had to give her Dilaudid and what was it? I can't think of the name of it. Anyway, they had to give her Dilaudid and something else last night because she was really agitated and having several pains in places it didn't make sense. So I sure don't want them to withhold anything. She deserves to be comforted at the end of life and made comfortable, and not to have anxiety and not be scared. And that's what hospice is all about, is comfort care. And best I can tell, Hospice Home Care in Little Rock is doing just that. It's a good place, and it's a clean place. I'll get back to y'all in a day or so with another update here, and pretty soon with some work. I appreciate y'all watching, and appreciate y'all subscribers and everything, and appreciate all the prayers and best wishes and all that. Now, I'm not a real religious person. I'm sort of lost since my son committed suicide. But I reckon prayers never hurt anything. You know? Maybe someday I'll get back on good terms with the Creator. Maybe Mom's passing will go, will go in a comforting way, and maybe that'll help us all. But for right now, I'm out, and I'll catch y'all on the flip side. All right?